Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've been in some really good sessions today. Michael is going to join us in a bit as well as he gets his slide ready to go. But I'm excited to introduce our next speaker, Michael Klinoff, partner manager at Gorgias. In this session, Michael is going to share tips to managing customer support during peak season with Gorgias. Michael, feel free to come on in and I'll let you take it from here as well.
All right. Matt, thanks so much. I realized I thought I was already on stage. I guess I was backstage. There's always something going on, but thanks so much for having me today. Yeah, we're in an exciting time here, right ahead of the peak holiday season. So today, going to talk to you guys about some prep, more on like the support side of things. How do we kind of shore things up? What are some strategies to implement? Some kind of three main topics I'm going to cover today are how to actually create your Black Friday, Cyber Monday strategy based off of like your past customer interactions, and talking about omni-channel presence. What is that? How do I get that set up? We'll talk about how you add AI into the mix, into the team. Like, are you implementing like automations, and how can you better leverage that to be better prepared? And then lastly, we'll kind of talk about meeting customers where they are through automations and why that helps. So yeah, let's just jump right into things. So if you're not too familiar with what do customers want, here's the main kind of category here. So in order to create a good customer journey, we have to understand customer expectations. So what do we know? We know customers want to reach out to you wherever your brand shows up in the world, right? Whether that's an email, whether that's social media comments, they expect responses and they want to be heard. The second thing is we know people are impatient a little bit. They want a response quickly and not just like a canned response. We're talking about something that is personalized, and it's not something that doesn't answer their question and it causes them more frustration, right? And then lastly, they want a personalized approach. Like, people expect you to know who they are. Are they already an existing customer? Do you know about their order history? And having all that customer data at your fingertips is really, really crucial. So to kind of set the backdrop for that. If you're not familiar with Gorgias, we are the number one rated help desk platform built for e-commerce, used daily by 43,000 support agents, over 15,000 brands, and we're built for e-commerce specifically for your entire tech stack, integrations with all your favorite stuff, ShipBob, hundreds of other things. And the whole idea is to drive a seamless customer experience, which is the exact point of Black Friday. So if you look at some of the current customer challenges, too often, like, this is the experience they're receiving right now. If you look at this, massive like 12-hour first contact time and even longer for a resolution. So not even just the first time they reach out, but actually solving that issue. Response times are way too long today. And in the world of e-commerce, like, that's too long to capitalize on all these interactions with customers and opportunities to interact, especially if inquiries are coming in as pre-sales questions. That's huge, especially in Black Friday. So where they are looking to learn about your product and policies, like, before making their decision, this is a challenge that brands are facing, and maybe you are running into this today. The second bit, lack of personalization. Buyers really want to self-serve, but when they want something a little further assistance, maybe from a person, they don't want to be treated like a ticket or a number. And lastly, there's kind of been a proliferation of channels over the last decade, where it used to just be like phone and email. Now you have SMS, now you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, and even like TikTok Shop as an example, right? Buyers want to engage with brands across all these different places, and they don't want to repeat themselves. So if they start a conversation in one place, maybe close it in another is another challenge to kind of give a backdrop here. So how do you get around that? I thought it was really, really interesting to highlight this. So 80% of shoppers are more likely to buy when they have a personalized experience, and 90% of customers rate an immediate response as important or very important when they have a customer service question. And this comes up a lot. You got to be quick. So to provide some extra color on like why customer engagement is so crucial, 73% of these buyers are stating a good experience is important and you have that fast response time, right? But what's interesting is 43% of customers would pay more for a greater convenience. And typically, customer support and experience is reviewed as kind of like the unsexy part of e-commerce. But as you can see, like from these numbers, it's really, really so crucial. And it should be a priority for every brand, especially going into Black Friday, where you might have new customers, returning customers. You need a segment, you need to know exactly who you're dealing with. So moving on to some actionable tips here that you can follow for this Black Friday. Number one, you're going to want to create and update your self-serve like help center. And why are you going to need to do that? So here's an example of like a best-in-class version of a help center that allows customers to self-serve. We talked about that. Find the answers they're looking for, very important. And whether they want to track their order, learn about your returns policy, maybe find a size guide. Like they should be able to find this right on your website. So this should be out of the gate something you have in place today to help avoid having those kind of secondary questions coming in to your support agents, right? And this is going to improve CSAT, customer satisfaction. Also, it's going to significantly increase your support team efficiency, right? By answering questions before they turn into something like a ticket. And as we mentioned earlier, 90% of people want an instant response. So this is one way you can do that. The second tip, use automation tools to reduce the load on your support team and get customers those instant answers, right? So what does that look like? It looks like this, right? You're leveraging technology to automate those questions and redundancies. And you should be leveraging that. So like 67% of conversations that come through chat are those pre-sales questions where 76% are post-sales. So by using automation for self-support, your team can have more time to focus on those problems that may require some more human empathy, or maybe there's an opportunity for a cross-sell or an upsell, right? And I want to show you next, like kind of on the back end, what does that actually look like? So tying into not leaving someone hanging for 12 hours and helping answer questions more quickly, you can set up some quick response templates here. So on Gorgias, we usually see merchants who are using our platform most effectively automate anywhere between like 30 to 60% of their tickets. And as you scale, that level of reduced like ticket volume can have a really big impact on the quality of those support interactions that your agents have with your customers, right? They're not bogged down and they can really like focus on sales opportunities. So, these quick response templates basically analyze your ticket history. They find out what the most common questions are, and then you can pre-build some of these response templates into your channel. So someone comes in with a question, maybe it's return or exchange or shipping, they can get that answer immediately without like needing to speak to someone. And then you can see like from this little chart, it can get really, really intricate. And going back to that article recommendation piece, having those answers already there will help inform answers and speak to that like self-service aspect. So it's all tied together. So I also wanted to talk about something interesting going into the busy season. It's natural we're going to see more support interactions with customers. Like you can forecast this by calculating something called a ticket to transaction ratio, how many tickets it takes for one support interaction to get resolved. And you can forecast this by looking at your sales data and ticket volume, right? The key metric that I mentioned to understand is for a brand that hasn't optimized their customer experience process, we usually see like 30 to 40% transaction to ticket ratio. So every 100 orders placed, 30 to 40 support tickets. So if you're optimizing that stuff, that ratio usually comes down to like 20. So with this in mind, you can better forecast the number of tickets you're going to get. And also what's really key is looking at a spike in demand in the future, you can better staff and equip your team to handle a spike. And I think that's also one of the kind of final points I wanted to cover, like on today's session is, you want to turn those new people into long-term loyal customers. And it's crucial to have the right number of agents ready at the post during that busy season to reduce like return rates and and retain. Retention is also part of this. So today we have over 5,500 brands that are using Gorgias for customer experience automation. Some of my favorite ones on here, Kith, Boxy, right? The whole idea is to implement some really, really interesting AI to get there. So to give some context, being where your customers are, providing that proactive support and responding to tickets as quickly as possible, which is, I can't say it enough, is kind of the basis of like AI in this context. How does it answer how you can help me in these specific ways? So from an omni-channel perspective, right, it's table stakes today to have stellar customer experience, retention, and loyalty by being in all these different places, right? It's like a bandwidth challenge. How do you be everywhere all at once? And how do you service all those customers? So understanding, using that data, understanding the challenges all kind of lead to this like final point here. Understanding your support requirements and equipping your team with the right tools. And that brings us to, we're entering a new age of customer experience. So like technology, shopping, shipping, it's all changing faster than ever before. And those customer expectations are also higher than ever. So brands need to focus on retention, and as the biggest competitive advantage over like acquisition and ad spend is technology, right? And what's going to change is the way questions are answered. So today, people are answering questions one-to-one. Tomorrow, actually still today, agents are going to be able to train an AI model and coach it to answer questions for them. So there's going to be a big shift here. As you can see, handling those, response tickets now is a greater slice of the pie. Soon, or actually, we're already in that age today, you're going to coach AI models to do this stuff for you. And Gorgias has this in place today. We have a ton of brands who are trying to achieve like a 24/7 customer support as a gold standard. And an AI agent is like basically someone who never eats, sleeps, or takes a day off, right? A team of 4 or 5 agents, along with an AI agent, has immense firepower when equipped properly. How do we do that? I mean, we're scaling support from an efficient perspective, reducing that ticket volume, and delighting customers with like instant support. So that way you can spend time on those like high touch, high impact things. How does it all work? The Gorgias AI learns all your policies, processes, and your brand voice. How? Your help center and all of your past customer interactions train a language model, right? Then the AI can accurately resolve these types of tickets up to 60% automation rate. And then this last piece, observe, that's like that coachability aspect, training the model, refining it over time, telling it, hey, answer this with a little bit more of a funnier tone or a different tone. And then it can really like jump into that good stuff. So we've been seeing some crazy results with this, major decreases in response time, increases in repeat purchase times, resolutions, pretty much all the things you want across the board. I know we're running up on time here, but a couple examples of some brands you can check out in the slides we'll share afterwards. But kind of in summary, you're going to want to boost sales, retain those customers, be where they are, provide that proactive support, and answer things as quickly as possible, leveraging AI to do so. So if you have any questions on what that looks like, or you want to learn more, feel free to book some time or shoot me a note. Happy to chat.
Thank you so much, Michael. Customer support is such an underrated part of your business strategy, especially for Black Friday and Cyber Monday when you have maybe higher order volumes during that time period as well. So everyone, please reach out to Michael, reach out to Gorgias, check out their products, check out their new integrations that are happening this season, and we'll see you in the next session. Thank you so much, and head over to the Gorgias booth with any questions.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.